So Voltron is a cartoon. It's an anime, if you will, an animated feature, sort of. No, it's a miniseries.
Yeah, it was a cartoon in the 80s.
There you go. Mid 80s, like 85.
84 is when it started.
Gotcha.
So I was a very young teenager.
I was just a smidge younger than that. So much so that while I do remember Voltron was on,
right,
I wasn't into it. Well, there it is. So this series focuses on...
I remember having the big Voltron.
The toy I remember.
Yeah, the
toy was
rocked.
awesome. The gigantic lion, almost Transformer-like. It comes into...
Head shot off.
So here we go.
Yeah.
This series focuses on 5 pilots, kind of military kids, really, that fight in these robotic lion suits.
Yes.
They're fighting the evil forces of King Zarkon and Prince Lotor. And this one features the voice talents of a handful of people you won't know, and Peter Cullen, who was Optimus Prime. So he does the narration. Jack Angel in this one, Michael Bell.
We need a mute.
Neil Ross.
Button, dude. We got so much to install still.
Yeah, we do. There's a bunch of stuff. Well, that's
sorry. I got distracted because
okay.
I started.
I looked up a couple of these guys, Jack
Yes.
Angel, Michael Bell, and they have done some other stuff. They have done mostly like cartoons and animated features and things. They've done a lot of voice work. You'll hear them on Batman. You'll hear them on, a lot of stuff on Fox. And
these are like the Hanna-Barbera of the not Hanna-Barberas, right? Because Hanna-Barbera had a lot of the same people did all the voices.
Yeah, yeah.
But now it's just more towards like the Transformers and
Yep.
Voltron, these type of individuals.
Yep. So like I said, I didn't watch this one when I was younger. 85 would have put me about 12.
Wow.
12 years old, and I just wasn't into it.
Right.
So to fire up Hulu now, Hulu.com is where
Right.
you can go and see this.
Because Hulu, what they're doing right now, they're doing the Hulu Days of Summer. Each week they're advertising some kind of shows, old shows like Sliders I saw advertised this week.
Yep.
Sliders was a good show. So they advertised Voltron as one of the shows to check out for
Yep.
the Hulu Days of Summer. And there are some people leaving some comments. This is on Hulu is getting like 4s or higher
Yeah.
on all the ratings. Well, all the people who are going back and enjoying it. However, one of the comments that I read out there was a guy who said, this is great that I can see this with my 7-year-old son. We did the math.
Yeah.
I was 7 when I was 7 when I saw it.
Right.
And it's a great experience that I can now experience with my son.
That's interesting.
That is interesting, and I'm good with that, and that makes sense. I, however, am childless,
Yeah.
and it's because I pulled the cord. Don't
Yep.
do that.
That's all right.
So I enjoyed it and loved this show when I was in my teens.
Right. What do you think of it now, Q?
I am not such a big fan anymore. To be honest.
It's honestly, it's
oh goodness.
The animation is, it's old. It's dated and you can see it. It's gosh.
Yeah, it is. So let's talk about that datedness, if you will.
Yeah.
In the 80s, that was one awesome show. I was looking at it more today as I watched it. I said, the story is good. It's not fantastic, but the story is reasonable enough to where you're like going, okay, I can see why you can get into this, because it's about this ancient robot, if you will, who's the savior of the universe of all good. And that's kind of groovy, and how it comes together, and how it got separated by a witch, and it's coming back together now to help fight against this evil king.
Yeah.
The story's fun. And in the 80s, I could see how I enjoyed that. Story's not as strong now.
Fast
to me.
forward to 2009.
Oh yeah, you get a little experience and wisdom behind you, and you go, "Oh my God, I enjoyed this as a kid."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we talked about that. We were on the phone a little bit earlier today, and
Yes.
and I unfortunately, through the modern technology, the internet, it's great. You go to Hulu, you go, to different sites, and you can see the original Transformers show, the series, and the movie, and you can see G.I. Joe, the series.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hold up.
It doesn't. It feels very dated.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's that?
You know what? I think that's just us. I think
Okay.
that's
We just have to be a little.
we're hearing some noises and things
Okay.
like that. We just have to tweak some stuff around.
So yeah, it feels very dated, and it's hard to deal with because of that datedness.
Yeah.
But at the time in the 80s, that was awesome graphics, awesome cartooning.
Let me ask you about, since we're talking about everything that's awesome, the synth voice at the very end of the beginning credits, Voltron, what's it say, Defender of the Universe. Was that even cool back in the 80s?
Yeah, because it was synthesized.
It's so dated.
Synthesizers were awesome in the 80s, if you remember. And I'm going to use awesome a lot because, it's the 80s we're talking about.
Yeah.
So how awesome.
It was tubular.
It was, man.
I had a chance to talk to Simon Cowell about this one, and here's what he had to say.
Oh, really?
I've had more fun in a dentist chair.
See? Simon didn't like this one. He went on to say...
Dreadful.
Yeah.
Well, he is pretty harsh on everything.
Horrible. Say it.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as is rapidly becoming my kind of backup go-to,
Yeah.
I just want to mention that Lindsay Lohan turns 23 today. Happy birthday,
nice.
Lindsay.
Oh.
23.
Wow, Lindsay.
Yeah. That
Thanks for
is
sharing.
something that I tried a couple weeks ago.
So if you guys want to relive your teens in the 80s, just go and check out Voltron on Hulu. Watch 1, maybe 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's an hour, a little less than an hour of your time
Yeah.
because thank goodness commercials are short on Hulu. So
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
Just no more than 1 or 2. If you still love it, great. Send us a comment. Send us an email.
Tell us where we're missing it.
Tell us why you love it so much and why it's still a great show in your opinion.
Yeah.
Because right now we're struggling. I mean, I might have loved it and liked it a lot when I was in the teens, but now
Yeah.
not so much.
It didn't stand the test of time, in my opinion, like a lot of those other shows.
It didn't.
However, I still expect to see a feature-length Voltron live action.
Of some sort.
Yeah, I'm going to say probably in the next 3-4 years, maybe.
Really.
Yeah, because they've got to grab onto it.
They do. There's a cult following of sorts, I bet, for that.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet if we did a search on like YouTube for Voltron, there'd be a lot of, fan-based video stuff out there. Well, there you go. That's our Voltron.
From outer space, it ain't some toxic waste. It could be 10 feet long and now it's chewing on your face. Well, that's a